So I don't know if you guys are excited as I am to kind of be here kicking it old school, going back to the roots, doing a classic commentary, but I'm actually quite excited to be here, and I wanted to share a really cool kind of trick that I've learned throughout this last week that I want to share with you guys. It's this extraordinary way of thinking, and it is so beneficial, I think, if you can master this. And it's not something that we can pick up in 24 hours or a week or whatever. I think it's something that takes lots of practice, lots of mental awareness in order to master this. But if you do it enough, like anything else, it can become a habit in your life. And I think this is really a beneficial mindset to maintain and improve on, because it will help us not only attain what we want to, but I think this goes back to my roots of what I like to talk about on my channel a lot. It helps you live a happier life. And all this mindset it's called clean thinking. And it's really simple. It's the best part. It's simple. So there's not a lot to it, and anybody can do it. So how cool is that, right? So it's called clean thinking. And what this revolves around is the notion of keeping thoughts that only benefit your life in your head and removing the negative thoughts. I know you're probably thinking like that's too general. Well, I'll give you an example, and I think it is very simple, but I've never thought of it in terms like that I'm about to explain to you guys. And I think once you kind of understand that how you can look at thoughts in this way, you can see the benefit of removing the bad ones and keeping the good ones. So this frame of mind is really unique because it can apply to absolutely anything you want in your life. It can apply to school. It can apply to friendships. It can apply to your intimate relationships. It can apply to your health. It can apply to your gym routine. Anything that essentially takes a thought of that you think about, this can apply to. So what it is essentially you're going to think of a thought. So we'll say this has to do with school. I know most of you are in school, and I myself was in school also. So let's say that you guys get a thought. You have a really big test coming up or something, and you have a thought. And then you analyze this thought. So whatever this thought may be. Let's say this thought is, I don't know if I have enough time to study for my test that I have in a week from now. Okay, so you have this thought. And what you're going to do next is you're going to ask yourself this question. You're going to say, does this thought take me closer to my goal with school? Because this thought relates to school. So what's your goal with school? I'm sure most of you have a goal, whether you want to put the effort in or not. Your goal is probably to do well in school, right? You want to pass, you want to get good grades. That's the underlying goal right here. So you say, does this thought take me anywhere closer to getting better grades, towards getting towards that goal, right? And so the thought is, I don't think I have enough time to study for my test next week. So that's a thought of doubt. It's a thought of disbelief in yourself. You don't know if you can do it. You're not really reinforcing positive thoughts to say, yes, I can do it. So you tell yourself at that very instant, this thought does not take me closer to where I want to be. So you get rid of it. You throw it away in the trash, and you move on. You completely forget about that thought. So what you can see here is what's really cool is if you get used to getting rid of those thoughts that are not getting you towards where you want to be, they're not etching you anywhere closer to your goal, you learn to sift through all this negative crap that we kind of think of from time to time. And then over time, and I haven't attained this either, but over time the benefit is you start to find out that the majority of the thoughts that come into your mind, because you've gotten used to getting rid of the bad ones, are all positive reinforcing thoughts. So for instance, we go back to the school example. You train yourself that every time you get a thought that doesn't benefit you and getting you towards that goal of yours, you get rid of it and you forget about it. And so now you have to think about the test, right? Because it's coming up in a week. It's coming up in a week. So let's say if you mastered this clean thinking, if you have a test that's coming up in a week, you can't not think about the test. You're going to think about it. So if you train yourself to get rid of all of the thoughts that don't help you get towards that goal, the only thoughts that really come through to you are the ones that are positive and reinforcing. So that's why this is called clean thinking. All you're doing is taking thoughts that don't edge you towards your goal. You get rid of them. And the thoughts that do come in that are beneficial to you in any way, whether it's making you, we can put it in terms of distance. Let's say, you want to be closer to getting an A in that class. So this gets you 1 centimeter closer towards getting you an A in that class. So a thought that gets you 1 centimeter closer, whether it's 1 centimeter's worth or an inch's worth, it's beneficial. So you keep that thought. I know it's kind of weird to think of it in terms of length, but it puts it into perspective as towards, any thought that helps you get towards that goal stays. The thoughts that don't, throw them away. And this isn't about learning how to perfect this so you never ever get negative thoughts, but it's learning how we have lots of power to choose what we think about. And if you can practice on retaining only reinforcing thoughts that get you towards where you want to be in whatever aspect of your life that you're focusing on, it's much more efficient for you to be a successful person. And I think that mindset is just so cool, that we can have so much power to almost inevitably put ourselves on a better path towards getting to where we want to be in any aspect of our life. And I think that is super awesome, and that's why I wanted to share it with you guys today. So I know it's been a while since I've done one of these, and I hope that what I said made sense to you guys. And I really enjoyed coming back here and doing one of these, and who knows, maybe I'll make some more. But I enjoy you guys just chilling with me here today, and it was a pleasure, and I hope to see many of you guys on stream with me tonight. And until then, I will probably catch you guys next Friday. Hope you guys have a great Friday, have a great night, and have a great weekend. As always, stay fly and stay fresh, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.